Hello everyone, Ali Sky here. Today I'll demonstrate to you how to learn zero cycling. Firstly, you might ask, what is a zero cycle? Well, to put it simply, it is something pointless that gives you zero rewards other than say you're kind of good at the game, but then really there's no skill involved because it's a turn-based game.
You what?
Zero cycling is mostly game knowledge, team building, and knowing when to use your ultimates, and hold off on specific actions, and finally, sometimes you do need some luck. Then you might ask, why are you doing it? But yeah, for real, a zero cycle is a run where you clear as fast as you can before the cycle ends. Cycles are the numbers you see here in the top left corner. This is possible in MOC and PF. Some can say in APOC a zero cycle is 1850 AV left because the first cycle is 150 AV. Oh, but what is AV? Short for action value. You can turn it on in the settings like this. Here's how to turn on action value. Okay, first you go to your phone. So in PC it's escape. In your mobile, I believe you just click the phone here. Just tap the phone here. And you go to the clock. And you go to this tab. The last tab. See, there's this thing under combat. Display character action value in combat. Set it to display. By default it's hide, so just set it to display. And that's how you get the action value below the characters. One action taken by a character costs 10,000. We will use this value later. The very first cycle is always 150 AV, and subsequent cycles are 100 AV. This is why 133.4 or 134 speed is very important in HSR, as it gives you one extra turn in the very first cycle. Using the formula, 10,000 divided by 133.4 gives us 74, which allows us 2 actions because 74 times 2 is less than 150 AV. How this works is, your character is using the AV to take their turn. So with 133.4 speed, every time they move, they use up 74 AV. Speed works in breakpoints, so just simply squeezing in more speed substats may not help. You gain additional turns based on meeting the speed breakpoints. For zero cycling, only 133.4, which gives you 2 actions in the first cycle, and 200, which gives you 3 matters. Anything higher will obviously have a breakpoint, but it is mostly unreachable for most characters. Having good speed tuning and AV advances such as Robin's ultimate, the Eagle 4-piece relic set, and Dance 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 Light Cone are examples which are the core of most zero cycle runs. So how does these AV things work? Example, a Dance 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 Light Cone at S5 provides 24% action advance. So you will deduct 2400 from 10,000. That's how much you need to work with. Let me give you an example. You want to go 3 times in cycle 0 with Bella, which is 150 action value. According to the chart, 200 speed gives you 3 turns. Seems unreachable, isn't it? You now equip Bella with 4-piece win set and have a teammate who can use their ultimate to activate their Dance 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 S5 LC. Your teammate holds it, not Bella by the way. You must also use Bella's ultimate when it's not Bella's turn to activate the 4-piece win effect. Because if you use it on her turn, it does nothing because she will be at 0 AV when it's her turn. Same for the Dance 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 Light Cone. Make sure you use the ultimate to activate the Dance 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 Light Cone when it's not anybody's turn. So basically the enemy's turn. Then you press your outs. So with this, how much speed does she need? Remember this number earlier? 10,000? We want to go 3 times, so we need to times 3 to get 30,000. And that's the new magic number. So what we do is 30,000 minus 2500, which is win set, and then minus 2400, which is S5 Dance Dance Dance, and you get this new number, 25,100. Then divide this by how much AV the cycle has, which is 150. We will get 167.3. You have to round it up because we cannot go lower, we only go higher. So the next highest will be 167.4. Or if you don't want to deal with decimals, 168. And that's how much speed Bella needs with 4-piece win set and dance S5 light cone. With this knowledge, you should be able to calculate the speed required yourself, or you can use the chart shown previously. Now that you know the basics, how can you start zero cycling? Well, to start, pick a character. In the current HP inflation, not many characters can really zero cycle unless you pump them with limited eidolons on themselves or their supports, or both, or you'll be using a ton of crazy action advance or high speed characters like running multiple dance or eagle 4-piece on everyone. It's up to you how much investment you want to count a zero cycle as valuable to you. If everyone is E0 and your Robin is E1 and you find that that's okay, then so be it. Some people look at zero cycles as they all have to be E0. That's up to them. You do you. So we're only doing this for fun. Then pick a game mode. Memory of Chaos will be the most realistic one, as after the first wave, you get reset back as if the battle just started. So things like Firefly's countdown from her ult, Robin's ultimate countdown gets reset back to the bottom of the action order. Yes, even if you took the last action to clear the first wave, you get a fresh 150 action value to work with, assuming you zero cycled the first wave. In Purefiction and APOC though, this does not happen. You don't get reset back after you clear the wave. Next, team building. You will almost always be running sustainless. As far as I know, only Super Breed is capable of zero cycling with a sustain, if you are counting like E0, since both Gallagher and Ling Sha are good enough to be a strong sub DPS in a break team. You could pull it off with other characters, but it may require more investment, especially if you're looking at an E0 DPS, because you're essentially asking to zero cycle with 3 characters, which could be slightly unrealistic. Your team should look something like this: a DPS character and 3 harmony supports. Or if it's something like Acheron or Herta, which requires like 2 or 1 of their path members, then you have to put them there, and then whatever slot left you put harmony. Now, speed tuning. Most of the team should be at least 133.4 speed, unless running a slow DPS like Yunli or supports like slow Runmei. DPS should be at least 1 speed faster than your action advance character if they provide 100% action advance. So for example, Bronya and Sunday. Let me give a quick example. Let's say you trying to zero cycle with Acheron. You run Acheron at 135 speed, and then you run Sunday at 134 speed. So that's what I mean by -1 speed. So how this works is, your Acheron is faster, so she'll go first. Then Sunday goes, he brings her up, and then after she uses a turn, she'll have another turn because she can go 2 times because of her speed. And then after she goes, Sunday can go again and bring her up again. Let me show you some team examples. Okay, for team examples, I'm not going to show you every team, but I'll show you like some examples of what I mean on how to build a team for zero cycles, and then you can see how to go yourself from there. So let's say Firefly, right? Very simple. Her default team like this. Even with Ling Sha, I'm pretty sure you can find a way to zero cycle. If like this you cannot, right? Then you take out Ling Sha and you bring HMC. Change this to HMC. Or if you don't have, like, let's say you don't have Field, you can bring like a Bronya to action advance your Firefly. If you don't have Runmei, forget about zero cycling. Unless you have really good relics, or if you have Eidolons, you can forget about it because you're losing too much path from dropping your Runmei. Or if you have E1 field, okay, then at that point, I'm not sure, you can try. Another team comp, Herta, which I did earlier. Robin, RMC, and then you bring your erudition character. Maybe Serval, you can try that. Or if you don't have Robin and you still want to give it a try, you can try Sunday if you want. Or you can even do like Robin, Sunday, RMC. No, the two harmony two siblings. The core of every team basically. Okay, then Acheron. Okay, my Acheron is E2, but let's assume it's E0, okay? Then you probably want to do something like... Where's Bella? Bella. Then, okay, pretend this is Jiao Qiu, okay, because I don't have him. I will pick him up on rerun. And then you bring an action advanced character, Sparkle, or Sunday, depending on what you have. Or if you want, you can bring Robin. Up to you. Also, another thing, okay, team positioning really matters. If you have something like Lushanka Relic, which is... Let me see, who has Lushanka Relic? Sunday. Yeah, if you have this relic, make sure your DPS is in the first slot, if not it does nothing. So positioning matters. And another thing, if your DPS is very reliant on energy, or if they want to get hit like Yunli, right, make sure that Yunli is not in this slot unless you're planning to stack Lushanka. Make sure you put your Yunli in this slot or in this slot. So the reason why is because if they are in the middle, if your Yunli gets hit by a blast, okay, if anyone in here or here get hit by a blast attack, Yunli will get hit. Whereas if Yunli is at the side, right, the only way for her to get hit is if she gets targeted directly, or if this person, okay, let's Bronya first, if Bronya gets targeted. Whereas if she's in the middle, okay, if they hit Bronya or Jade with a blast attack, Yunli will also get hit. So this is like double the chances of her getting hit. Which in Yunli's case, she wants to get hit. Or in Herta's case, double the chances of getting hit so she gets more energy. Okay, I don't think there's any other team I can do. Okay, maybe Fei Xiao. I don't have Fei Xiao, so let's pretend Black Swan is Fei Xiao. So we put Fei Xiao here. Because Fei Xiao doesn't need energy, she should always be in the first slot because she doesn't want to get hit. Then you can do something like Han March, Robin, and usually you run sustain, but I don't think you can zero cycle of sustain. If you can, then good for you. Then you just bring Sunday, and it should work. Or if you want, you can bring RMC. That also works. Remember, this is Fei Xiao, okay? This is not Black Swan. And those are some team examples. Yep. Okay, about gearing, the most important thing is not whether your crit rate, crit damage, or your break effect, or your attack, or your whatever is super high, or if you have 5 rules on every relic, or you have only 1 rule on every relic. For zero cycles, the most important thing is your speed tuning. So basically, I can give you an example. Let's say you want to zero cycle with Firefly. You want to make sure that if you're using an Harmony MC, that they are faster than your Firefly. If you're using Field, it doesn't matter, because Field gives you super break just by simply being there. So I can give you an example. Example, my Firefly has 158 speed, and if I'm using Harmony MC, let me switch to it real quick. So you can see my Harmony MC will have 159 speed. So this is 1 speed higher than Firefly. So the reason why you want this is because Harmony MC needs to use the skill once to get enough energy to use the ult. And once you use the ult, as you know, you'll give super break. That's why you want to be at least 1 speed faster than Firefly. So this is very important speed tuning. And usually if you are zero cycling with super break, you want to run slow run me, so about 120 speed and no ER rope, and then just dump everything to break effect for a little bit more break damage. That's how I would gear a super break team. For your crit DPS, you just put on whatever your best gear is, which but by right it should be your default build. That's what you normally use to clear in-game content. Then try to aim for higher crit rate. Let me see if I got an example. Okay, like example. Okay, what the hell is this? What? Okay, I'm borrowing gear. Okay, ignore this. I'm borrowing gear. Wait, I didn't put it back. Who is holding the rope? Okay, Himiko. Okay. Yep. Okay, so like let's say this is 83 200, right? It's not 100% crit rate. If I was running Yunli with Sunday, it would be fine. But let's say if I'm not running with Sunday, I probably want to change my boots to something like this, cause this has 11 crit rate. So if I change to these boots, I'll have 90 crit rate. And then if I run with RMC, I'll have 100% crit rate. So for your crit DPS, try to aim for more crit rate than your crit damage. Your crit damage can be carried heavily by your supports, so you don't have to worry. Most important is your speed tuning. But like I said, it's not every DPS that needs speed. Only if you run with like Sunday. So for example, see if I have anyone I can give an example. So let's say if you want to run Akron, you could give her speed boots and then give her 135, and then your Sunday is 134. However, you want to experiment it and see if it's worth it, because as you can see how slow Akron is. If I give her speed boots, let's see, do I even have speed boots? Okay, it's alright, I guess. Okay, let's say I give her speed boots, right? Then you'll notice it's not even enough to hit 134, and you need to get another like how many? 5.
2 hours later.
Wait, 4 plus 4 is 8. Is it 8?
2,000 years later.
I can't even do basic math right now.
You what?
Yeah, 8 speed substats. So 8 speed substats is basically if you get 2, you need 4 rolls. You need to throw away 4 crit rolls or even attack rolls into speed. So you have to try for yourself whether you think it's worth it. For me, the character is too slow, like Yunli, I think it's not worth it. Just run them at base speed and then you just make your support fast as hell, like my Sparkle is 170 speed. Yeah, 170 does nothing. You want, I believe you want 174. And then you need to pair her with Ranmei to hit 200 speed with Dance S5. So yeah, action value and your speed tuning is the most important when gearing. Your relics can be whatever. Just make sure your speed tuning is correct. Let me put the boots back before I forget it though. Yep. And right, light cones. Dance is a very good light cone. This gives your whole team 24% action and value advance. Or unless you're super big and then you have E2 field, then yeah, it's the same thing. And make sure to check that your, like let's say if you're using something like Von Weg, where there's a speed requirement, make sure you actually hit the speed. And let me see what else. Okay, I should probably change this back to RMC as well. Let's see, is there another? There's this one really I want to talk about. Yeah. If you're using stuff like Broken Q, like you see 30% effect rest, make sure to check whether you hit. Okay, I'm pointing out doesn't hit, but he's probably just using borrowed gears. Let me see who else is using. Okay, Ting Yun. Okay, make sure you hit the effect rest. If not, you're wasting the set effect. Then you might as well just run Rainbow at that point because your set effect is not going to do anything. Yeah, and always check your relics before you go. If not, you might end up doing like many runs and then you're wondering what is wrong, and then you realize maybe your relics are wrong. Like example, okay, what the hell is this?
Emotional damage.
Because they still haven't give us loadouts. I know Wuthering Waves has loadouts and I don't know when we're ever gonna get, if we're ever gonna get. Hopefully they see that, you know, the devs needs to listen. We need loadouts. So that, like, not even just for me or like content creators in general, that we should do a lot of showcases. Like even on my free to play account, because I don't have relics for every character, I need to constantly change the relics. And then you just get lost, like whose relic is whose. So that's why I feel we need loadouts. But okay, back to the video. And yeah, one thing about your action advance characters, don't be too fixated on their crit damage. Like example, Sparkle's crit damage. Okay, it looks low, but when you think about it, sometimes it's worth to drop the crit damage a bit just to hit the speed threshold. So let me show you an example. Okay, let's say I give her light cone. Okay, instead of dance. My thing is really good. Wow, it gives them crit rate, which is, yeah, it's good. More crit damage. Like wow, my Sparkle has 216 crit damage, right? But let me go into better and show you that this difference in crit damage, right, for dropping like even a Dance Like Cone or even with more speed is so small that you can probably just forget about it. So let me just quickly go into a battle. Okay, let me just... Yeah, Sparkle is soloing, but it doesn't matter, she's not really fighting. So let's just pretend, okay, we use this also, and we restart the battle as we normally do. And turn off auto so let them do the thing. Okay, so you see 226, right? Let's say we cast on ourselves. Okay, then now you can see Dream Diver crit damage increased by 99%, right? Okay, I don't know if she can survive this. Should she get crowd control? So I want to show you the stat screen. Oh my god, please. Okay, 326 crit damage from the 99%, and yeah, the mask. However, let's say I now drop her crit damage. Okay, I give her back stance. Who's holding it? Oh. Okay, and you see your crit damage is now 184, right? We lose about 30, okay, 30 something. I'm not gonna math that. You get the idea. Okay, so now we do our thing again. We pretend we're going to a battle. I should probably bring a second character in case she dies. But yeah, okay. So now you see in battle 194. Okay, and now I'm gonna cast it on herself. And you can see the Dream Diver. 91%. You lose so little crit damage. It's like 8%. I can tell you that the damage change, right, is going to be so negligible you won't even notice it. It's actually very little. So it is okay to drop some crit damage just to hit the speed threshold for your supports to enable the actions, the extra actions. Don't be too fixated on making the stats super big, or like, you know, 100 crit rate. Okay, 100 crit rate is probably fine, and then maybe 300 crit damage, something like that. Don't worry about the crit damage. Crit damage is like the most saturated stat in this game, and it's so easy to get. Like Sparkle gives so much, Sunday gives so much. Wait, yeah, why did I switch to? I switched the wrong one. RMC gives crit damage as well, I believe. I don't know where, but they give crit damage. And then Robin also gives crit damage. I believe it's the... This skill? No, it's not the skill, it's the trace. Yeah, there. The crit damage. She also gives crit damage. And then you have your what's that thing called? Your... Where the... Oh, here. Your Duran, see, so much crit damage also. And then, if you're playing characters like Yunli, read their kit, you see, increases the crit damage dealt by Yunli's next counter by 100%. It's so much free crit damage, you don't have to worry, man. I can tell you my Yunli, right, even if I drop this crit damage by like 50, right, it's fine. Let me change the boots back before I forget. This is the correct one. Yeah, it's fine. Even if I drop the crit damage by a little bit, just to hit the 100% crit rate. But unfortunately for me, as you can see, all my pieces like to dodge crit rate. So nothing I can really do. I can probably try and gamble this, but I'm good. If I could, I would drop as much crit damage as I have to, just to get 100% crit rate on characters like Yunli and like Fei Xiao, where possible. It's not like it's the gospel or anything like, oh, if you don't hit 100 crit damage, I mean, if you don't hit 100 crit rate, it's over. No, it's not, okay? Just try and aim for crit rate over crit damage. It's more important to successfully land the crit for your 0 cycles than to reset 100 times just to hit the big number, which most of the time, it may not really happen. But yeah, I think that's all about gearing. Yeah, make sure your traces are max, of course. Your relevant traces, so like my Herta, everything is max. Okay, this is not max because in the future I do want to try her a power set if I do get a set. And yeah, make sure your light cones are fully leveled. Yeah, and this is passkey, it doesn't matter. Like your light cones, because your light cones give you stats. You never know that you might be 1 HP from death, and because you level your light cone, it saves you. It sounds very like a stretch, but you never know. You never know, okay? It can happen. If the boss can constantly make me start at 1%, what makes you think that the boss cannot make you start at 1% as well? Food for thought. Okay, surely the basic attack. Okay, surely the basic attack.
Nope.
Okay, the out. What? Let's start zero cycling. I'm gonna go through my 2 latest zero cycle videos. First one with Yunli on the first half, and then the Herta on the second half, at a slower pace compared to the original video, and I'll just pause at key moments to properly explain. This way you can see how to zero cycle both sides. You may not be using the same characters, but you can kind of get a general idea of like what goes through my brain when I'm doing these zero cycles. Obviously, it's not done in one attempt. It's many attempts. Okay, starting off here, I'll show the first side of MOC first, with RMC and Yunli. So before you start the battle, which if you are looking to zero cycle, you should know this by now, use your techniques. So like Ting Yun, use a technique twice, Yunli use a technique once, and for Robin and RMC, because their techniques are both a few, you have to choose which one you want. So read the techniques and see which is best for your situation. Pause now. So you can see I'm using all my techniques. Then we open. And here, very important, as you can see, I immediately click Ting Yun's out because, okay, let me play first, then you can see the side corners after Yunli's opening. So as you can see, everybody's action value got advanced. So the reason why I click this immediately before anyone acts is so that I can advance everybody's action value by, I believe, 24% from Dance at S5. This is very important because like some characters like Robin, you want them to be fast enough that they can exit the concerto in the same cycle. This is not always needed. You have to experiment for yourself and try and see if this is what you need to do for your zero cycle. And in some teams, if you do the Robin exit on the same cycle, you might not be able to get enough energy, especially if you don't have Robin's light cone. So yeah, I'm gonna unpause. So here you see I give the energy to Robin, so she can get enough for out, and then I summon Mem, and then I open the out that I explained in the video. And here, because I want to control the damage, that's why I don't buff Yunli first. So it's not always so straightforward that, oh, it's very obvious you should buff your character first. It's not always like that. You have to basically trial and error. What I want to say is, zero cycle is basically like a puzzle piece. Once you go into battle, it's a puzzle piece. You will not get it on the first try. You may not even get it on the second try, or even the third try. It may take you a while. It could be quick, it could take a long time. That's why I say it's not really worth it. And it's mostly, you're doing this just for fun. So figuring out the puzzle piece, in what action order you need to take in order to execute the zero cycle. So here I'm also controlling the damage. We pull Yunli up. So when we pull Yunli up, she gets the mem support, and she also gets the crit rate. And here I out because the next turn is an enemy's turn. So in Yunli's case, if she gets hit, she will activate her cow. And And here I finally buff Yunli because it is time to ramp up the damage so that we can be able to clear before the cycle ends. So you can see the cycle always starts at 29 in MOC. So zero cycling meaning you kill everything and this number here is still 29. As you can see, she activates a call. Then one is already low HP, then one is almost dead. So I just activate out here because you try not to keep your energy as full unless there is like certain reasons to do that. I can give a few examples. Characters holding dance like Kun, you could consider to keep their out for the second wave if you can clear the first wave enough. If you're gonna take too long, it's better to just release the out because you are just wasting energy. So in the case of RMC, I release the out as soon as possible. But do note that when you use RMC's out, okay, make sure that you look at the charge. Okay, maybe you can't see the charge. Let me see. Okay, here's a bit more clearer. So you look at the charge. When she outs, she gives 40% charge to mem. Make sure when you use your out, you're not hitting 100% when you don't want to hit 100%. Now it's the wolf's turn. I am waiting for the out to clear. And then here we do this because we want to get a guaranteed cow for the end. And again, because Tingyun has her out ready, you want to immediately click it again at the start of the wave to give the action value advance to everyone. And also Tingyun's turn is next. Okay, wait, maybe I'll pause at a better time. Tingyun's turn is next, so if you don't out before her turn, you're going to waste the energy that she gets at the start of her turn. I believe Ranmei also gets energy at the start of her turn, so that's also another character that has the same thing. You don't want to hold it out if you can. So here we give it to Yunli because you can see Robin has enough energy. By the time she reaches her turn, she will probably have enough. And then because we don't have enough turns, the mobs, right? They are not like so fast like Hule like that have like 300 speed or 400 speed. I don't know how much speed he has. So we need to make use of any kind of action advance as we can to bring our DPS up to do as much of the damage as we can. So we bring Yunli up. Then we hold off on the out because, like I say, you want to not waste this guarantee cow. And you want to make sure when you out, the next attack is from an enemy. So here we hit the pig because the pig, killing the pig in this turbulence will damage everybody. So obviously before you zero cycle, make sure you know what your turbulence does and use it to your advantage. Then here we press the out before Svarog's turn so that when he attacks Yunli, she will return with a enhanced counter. And here is the wolf's turn again, so we press the out again. Here you can see that although Tingyun's buff is still up, sometimes you may want to choose to use skill so that you can get more energy, because basic gives you less energy than your skill. Unless you are certain characters like Sparkle, whose basic and skill gives the same energy. If not, for most characters, using skill obviously will give you more energy. That's why you see some zero cycles, people just spam the skill with Tingyun because they're trying to get her back up as quick as possible. Also, there's this advanced deck which it may not work all the time depending on the situation. Sometimes you want to cast Tingyun's out on herself instead of any of your team members. Let's say maybe all their energy are full and you have a dance ready. You may sometimes want to cast Tingyun's out on herself. Okay, why you do that? It sounds like it's a brick thing to do, but no. Because when you cast Tingyun's out on herself, not only do you get dance for the whole team, the energy that she casts is not wasted on any of your teammates if, let's say, their energy is all full, and she gets her next out quicker. So you're going to get more dance actions. But again, this is situational, so depending on what you're zero cycling with, you have to think whether this is the right course of action. So here Robin exits, but we got enough energy to go back. But in a zero cycle, actions are tight, so you want to think of when do you really want to use your Robin's out. Do you want to go back immediately, or do you want to wait for your team to move? I would say the general rule is if your team is close behind, you can wait. But if your team is like they're in Narnia, let's say it's like Savarok, then like maybe 10,000 mobs, then the rest of your team, then you might as well just use the out. Because in zero cycles, if you are sustainless, you want to try to take as least damage as possible from the mobs. That's why you see some zero cycles, they like Savarok, right? They let Savarok go his first turn, then they break him on before his second action, because when you do that, he gets delayed longer. He gets delayed like further down. This is to prevent more damage taken to your team because you can't heal. But in this case, Yunli wants to get hit and she can heal herself. So technically you can say she's like the sustain in this team, but she's also the DPS. So here we go in the concerto. And then you want to skill again. Basic, not skill. I use basic. Then we skill to get into our out. And he's gonna summon, right? And then we press out because I know that he's gonna do an AoE attack after he summons. So this is another thing that's important. Knowing the attack pattern of your enemy is very important. Especially if you're playing a character like Yunli. If you're playing any other character, maybe it's not so important, but sometimes the attack pattern is also important. Like, okay, I can give one example. Swamp King in the current APOC. The first attack does not stun you, but the second attack does give you a quantum stun. So if you're playing like Yunli, sorry to use Yunli as an example again, you may not want to parry the first hit, but you may want to parry the second hit. So that's an example of knowing what your enemy does. So, okay, let me go back. Sorry, you have to go watch this again because the media player only lets me go back 10 seconds. So as you can see, Tingyun didn't have an out, right? But because Svarog did the AoE attack, this will give her enough energy to get her out back, which she can use to dance to bring Yunli back up, or herself back up. As you can see, she's quite close to going back up. So here Yunli will do a cow, but it's not enough because there's some of the cow, because the cow is a bounce, it can go into the hand as well, instead of going to Svarog. So here we give Yunli the energy because we need the out, need the energy to do the guaranteed cow. But then you see, okay, we did not have enough action value to go back up, right? This is where RMC's out will save us. Because we are above 60%, when you use the out, Mem will advance. So here you see, we use the thing, 100%. Then Mem will advance. Then before Mem goes, wait, sorry. I have to make you watch it again. Okay. Before Mem goes, we want to press Yunli's out because we don't want the hand to grab us. So we use the Mem out, then we press Yunli's out, okay? Press Yunli's out. And before Mem goes, we want to press the out so that you will count the out. You will count the next person that moves is Mem instead of the hand. Because if it's the hand will just grab Yunli. We press the thing before the Mem's turn, then Mem takes her turn. Then now Yunli's turn. So she'll activate the guarantee count and then she'll end the battle. That's how I did it. Okay, now that we have seen the first side, now I'll show you the second side of the Herta. This will be a different kind of zero cycle because this is not a counter zero cycle. Now it's like an actual DPS. So I want to try to show you two different types of zero cycling. Obviously, I cannot show you zero cycle for every character because every character on my account can't zero cycle. Mostly it's just Yunli. He's like the only character on my account that can zero cycle within relatable means. And Herta is the second one because she's the new character. So in this team, again, RMC and Robin, they are both a few. I'm not going to repeat. You decide which you want. Then we'll use the Herta's technique and we'll use Jade's technique before we begin the battle. So here, because we don't really have any kind of action advance until RMC summons Mem and then get some charges, we just skill with Robin, because we always have the skill to start the battle, so that we can give the team the buff. Then we summon Mem. And then Jade has to give the Debt Collector to Herta in this case, because it gives her the speed buff to hit 134. But do note, when you do this, she may not get the turn. She will not get like the 134 speed, the full 134, because she started the battle without 134 speed. But with an action advance from RMC, she technically takes 2 turns, and then afterwards the second cycle she will still have the Debt Collector, then she will act as 134 speed. So to solve this problem, I believe there is a way to put more speed on her, like maybe speed boots instead. I can't remember what's the speed number. If I do find it, I'll put it in the video. If not, I think you can just try and Google search it. You know, Zero Cycle, you do some research. It's not like you just know everything. I don't know everything either. But like, yeah, okay, let's continue. Yeah, pretty okay. She just uses the basic, because afterwards Mem will raise up anyway, and she doesn't have enough energy. That's why I use the basic, so that after she gets raised up by Mem and get the Mem support, she can use her skill. So SP economy management is also very important. So you can see here, because I use the basic at the start, I now have 1 skill point, then I can use the skill. Then Jade will follow up because she hit the stacks. And here we wait. Do not use Herta's out, okay? Know when to go off on your out, like I said before. Because we have no Robins out, we don't want to let off any of our nukes. We just want to do as minimal damage as possible. So we do Robins out. Again, don't use the out yet, because this out will action advance her. We wait for Herta to go. Use her skill first. While this could be an energy waste, it's better to waste your energy than to waste your actions, because your actions are more important. So here we use the out. Your action advance her. Okay, again here, Jade's out is active, right? But you don't use yet, because Herta, every time your enemy attacks, she gets energy. So you want to get rid of this out first before you use Jade's out. So here she out, then she'll get advance right above Mem, and then we use basic because we want to save. Okay, why we use basic is because we look after the out happens. You see both of them, the HP is so low, right? So why would you want to waste your enhanced skill? You can keep it for the next wave. So this is another thing you think. Look at your background, your environment, and then you save when needed. Don't waste. So I have basic here, or CC basic kills it, then Mem will finish the last guy. Note that this part is RNG, of course. If you do something like this, it may not go the same way. Like I say, Zero Cycle is not so straightforward that you can just go in and then you follow exactly and then you definitely get it. No, it's an RNG thing. Unless your relics are good enough that you're overkilling. Even then, I don't think you will get it in your first try. You will still take several attempts at least. So here, important, because we are fighting the Swamp, right? And Jade's out is AoE. You would want to wait for him to summon first so that you can use the out on everything. The summons, the Numbies, and the Swamp. If you didn't wait, you will only be using on this, this, and this. Then you will feel like it's a waste, right? Okay, so here, another thing that's very important. Before I use the out, because the out will kill everything, I see that the Swamp is here, and there's another minion that's going to go right. Because energy is important, you could opt to wait for them to hit you first, because when you get hit, you get energy. So the reason why I waited here is because Robin's energy is kinda low, so I'm banking on them to hit Robin so that I get some energy. But, however, do note that the more times the enemy hits you in Zero Cycles, the lesser your chance is at survival, because you don't bring sustain. Every damage you take is permanent. Especially when the swarm hits you, they give you wind shear, so you're gonna take even more damage. So you have to take that into account. You experiment yourself and determine what is the best outcome for you. So here they hit Jade, which is useless, but like I say, it's a gamble. Here I use Jades out to clear the field. And then RMC goes, we save the out. Then now, you see, because we didn't waste the enhanced skill from the previous wave, we now got a free enhanced skill to use on the second wave on the swarm. And our energy is almost back to full already, it's like halfway there. So here we use our enhanced skill. 3 damage, and then the first wave is almost dead already. Here Jade just basic, because that's all she can does. Then you summon again, and then here is when we use RMCs out. Because just nice we hit 60%, so when we use the out, we will advance. And why I say this is a good time to advance, because he just summoned, so he will have already taken his turn. Then when you advance Herta, she will go before this bug so that she can kill it, and the bug will not hit us. So we pull Herta up. And here you want to wait, because Herta is an erudition character, you want to stack all the interpretation stacks. So you can't possibly stack on one target, right? So you want to wait for it to summon so that you can use your out. So you use your out, then after it summon, then you use your out. Also, reason why you wait, Herta is strong enough such that she probably can kill all the summons anyway. So if you wait and the summons die, she gets back more energy, because when you kill, you get energy. So she outs here. See, they die, then they die, then she gets back energy. You might not be able to see very well because of the stupid player. Here she gets a free enhance out just before Robin ends her turn. And 4%. But you can see Robin is about to go back into Concerto. I believe a skill here is just all you need. Yep. And I just used RMC's turn because I'm a bit paranoid. Wait, was that not enough? Sorry, I had to go back. Oh, it was enough. Okay, because I'm a bit paranoid about 1%, 2%, 3%, I just basic with RMC to ensure that we got higher success rate of clearing, even though it's only 1000 damage. And here we use Robin's out. Yeah, just ignore that, that's from the video. ignore the text. I have to mute this because if not, you will hear me and then you'll hear me from the video as well. So here Herta advances with the rest of the team because of Robin. And then Herta just use the enhanced skill and then she'll end the battle. And that's how you do 0 cycles. In conclusion, 0 cycles take a lot of effort and time and provide 0 rewards. So at the end of the day, at least to me, it is technically just a challenge. It's up to you how much time and investment you want to put in to do them. At the end of the day, if it makes you happy, sure, go for it. I'm obviously not the best 0 cycler. There are tons of better people out there. And my 0 cycle runs aren't really fully relatable, because I have E1 Robin and I have E1 Yunli, which some people say that technically I'm carried by them, sure. But until the game allows me to toggle off my Eidolons, this is the lowest investment that I can 0 cycle with. And I'm also a Yunli main, that's why most of my 0 cycles are about Yunli. Anyways, up to you to decide how much investment you want to count as it's fine. F2Ps expecting the 0 cycle with E0, S0 and bad relics aren't going to happen. Let's be realistic. You have to put in some effort get the speed tuning right, get some better relics. If not, then I guess you can consider pulling for Eidolons, but that costs money unless you do have enough pulls for it. But yeah, good luck with your future Zero Cycle runs. Thank you for watching till the end. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!